this, you lose. If you make it, you're in a position to win. Gonna go for two here. He's going for two. If you don't make this, you lose. If you make it, you're in a position to win. Got it!
One-handed catch as he goes up and gets it.
That's just a heck of a play. Go for two here. Go for two here. Got it!
One-handed catch as he goes up and gets it.
Go for two here. Go for two here. If you don't make this, you lose. If you make it, you're in a position to win.
Okay, we are live. Back season 2. If you can believe that, boys, we made it through season 1. It's season 2.
Kalen's still coughing up season 1.
Yeah.
Some things never change.
He's got that good. So, Kalen, we haven't seen you in a couple weeks, and we were all off last week while Josh took care of our socials and whatnot. But how was vacation?
Vacation was great. Had a lot of good fun up at the cottage, and came back, and then we kind of fell back into another vacation here, but got a chance just to hang out with the family and get ready to have this kid that we're going to be having in just over a month, right? So,
yeah,
getting things in order.
Yeah, that's awesome. And Chad, what'd you get up to? You played a little bit of golf, eh? You were at the aquarium. You went to the Jays game yesterday, didn't you?
Yeah, I was directly beside the Jays game, and I was like, did you girls give me the surprise and tell me I was going to see Sharks, but we're actually going to the Jays game?
Yeah.
And I will tell you right now, I only saw Sharks yesterday. But no, I golfed a couple times. Gotta prep up for Friday, boys. I can't let you guys come in there and beat me.
It's a big one. We got that number growing, eh?
Yeah,
we're not going to announce
there
it right now because we're not 100% sure, but we have long surpassed our goal. Long surpassed it already. And our goal was $1,000, and we have long surpassed that. So we're going to do that all for mental health charity. We'll talk about that a little bit later on in the show. Of course, wouldn't be an episode on a Monday if we didn't thank our friends down at Toboggan and Joe Cool's. Make sure you're checking them out. I'm enjoying a nice Lunatic fridge right now. It's amazing.
Patio looks great.
The fall weather seemed like it was back last week. Not so much today, but it kind of put us in the mood to talk a little football. So
I'm always in the mood to talk football.
Football is back. The Hall of Fame game happened.
It's back, yeah.
We are back. And we're back with a bang. We're back with a quarterback contract. Josh Allen, boom. 6 years, $256 million, $152 guaranteed. How do we feel about that?
It put him in the right bracket. I was actually thinking he was going to get the 45. I thought he was going to get there. I think he only got to just under 43 a year. I don't think anybody's complaining about that. It's the right area for him. Let's say that. Okay. I thought he was going to get paid more just because usually it goes up every year. And obviously, like, Patrick Mahomes set the tone, as he should have. He's lights out, 1A and 1B top quarterback in the league behind Aaron Rodgers. But Josh Allen's ceiling is so high. With the salary cap always growing, I thought he was going to get more. Because, like, as that grows, his salary's going to go down. Like, the crazy part is, in 5 years when his contract's up, I was talking to a guy at work about this, and I was like, where is he actually going to sit? Is he going to be still the top three? I see right now he's the number 2 highest paid quarterback in the league. Is he going to be still the number 2, or is he going to be sitting down around 9 or 10, which is absolutely absurd for a guy with his talent?
Right.
And then what happens? But yeah, no, I think that contract's around the right number for him. I'm just scared to see what Lamar's going to get paid now, because there's no way you can pay Lamar more than what you can pay Josh Allen.
No, there's no way. And I mean, I'll give you my thoughts on Lamar Jackson a little bit later. But Kalen, is this kind of the neighborhood that you thought he was going to be at? Does this make sense for Buffalo?
Hey, listen, I love Josh Allen. You guys saw me fall into the bandwagon last year during the playoffs there.
You gave him MVP, didn't you?
Hey, I don't know when the MVP rise. He is the MVP in my heart during the playoffs there. That was a good run. But here's what I'm going to say. He better make sure he buys a good few dinners for Stephon Diggs. Because as much as I love Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs has made that man a better quarterback. And I don't know what Josh Allen would be without Diggs on that team. I don't know if we
Well,
would have the same type of player.
It's the perks of having a number one receiver.
Yeah.
It's a guy that no matter what you do,
it makes
you know you
mediocre
can look at.
quarterbacks into those top 5 level numbers, right?
Did you just
Yeah.
call Josh Allen mediocre?
Yeah. Hey, listen,
That's
one
all
of the
I
biggest-
heard is that you
hold
called
on.
Josh Allen mediocre.
Yeah, well, hey, his rookie year, one of the biggest knocks on him was that his accuracy was piss poor. And then he comes in his next year and he had one of the best accuracy numbers of quarterbacks in their second year in a long time. So, I
That's
mean,
like
that was one of the
psychology.
biggest – that was the biggest knock, was that he was just inaccurate. He scrambled too much. He only went off one read. His second year was vastly different than his first.
Yeah, he also played a
Big
butt
either
fuck nowhere in college.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, there's
Like,
probably
what was
high
the
school
best
programs that are
competition?
better than Wyoming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He wouldn't have been playing against competition. So
I'm
I
happy
guess-
for a team like Buffalo, and I'm happy for the fans. They've been chasing a quarterback since I think was it
Jim
Brian
Kelly.
Greasy left there. Well, yeah,
I think it
But
was Jim Kelly.
Jim
Yeah.
Kelly. Yeah, was that the last good one?
yeah, so
So-
the thing that I don't get, and I don't understand why more quarterbacks don't follow this Kirk Cousins model, where just go get a 2 or 3 year deal and continue to rip it up. Like, you're telling me if you're Josh Allen and they come to you and say, "Hey, we'll just give you the 140 for the next 3 years and it's fully guaranteed," why wouldn't you take that? Like, what is the purpose of all of these extra years if they're probably voided years anyway that you're just going to tear up and do a new deal anyway?
I think it comes down to like age. When he started hitting those deals, he was at a certain age in his career where now like the kids are trying to make as much as they can before they get hurt and maybe have their career derailed or taken a different direction. Kirk's also a different type of quarterback than somebody like Josh Allen would be too. Josh
He
is going
wants
to
to
take a
walk
hell
around
of
a
a lump.
plexiglass box.
What Shane said is he want to take the direction that Kirk does. I was like, oh, which direction are we going here, Shane?
Plexiglass box.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Just box them in like the Pope. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it just makes sense. What Cousins did and his agent did makes a lot of sense, and it doesn't seem like a lot of quarterbacks want to follow that model. And it wouldn't make sense for a guy like Lamar Jackson. You want something on paper for a guy like Lamar Jackson, but are we concerned that 3 years from now, Josh Allen is not going to be one of the top, call it 5, 7 quarterbacks in the league? I'm not. So if I was him, I would take a whole bunch of guaranteed money and I would want to force Buffalo's hand, or maybe San Antonio, if that's where they're moving. I don't know if you guys heard about that yet.
Yeah.
But-
Stop it.
Yeah.
But whichever team you're forcing the hand of, and maybe if you're Josh Allen, you get sick of Buffalo in 3 years. Maybe you want to move on. He doesn't seem like that kind of a guy, but I just don't know why in a market where you have so much control over what's going to happen, why you would give up that chance to hit free agency again before you're 30. Because that guy's what, 20, 24?
23, maybe 24, 23,
Yeah.
24.
So if this guy even took a 4-year deal, you're telling me that a guy like that isn't going to make some bank 4 years from now? I mean,
Well,
100%.
Quarterbacks are getting 4 contracts now in their lifespan.
Well, Kirk Cousins is going to have 11 contracts. This guy just keeps doing 2-year deals.
Yeah. Well, I think that Allen did say, I could be wrong, but he said he was going to take a team-friendly deal anyway. He wanted to have a team builder type contract. As Chad said, he left some meat on the table. I don't know the exact breakdown year by year, but if that's the case, then maybe that is what happened. And maybe that is the direction that maybe some quarterbacks should go, those team-friendly
Well,
deals.
I'll tell you what happened is the owner of the Chiefs is buying every dinner for the Pagula family in Buffalo because they didn't pay Josh Allen more than Patrick Mahomes. So they don't got to go back to the negotiation tables with
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes. Because I promise you that if they pay Lamar or Baker Mayfield, if one of those guys ends up above Patrick Mahomes, that deal's getting redone.
So where does this put Baker? You put him in the Dak bracket of 37?
Oh, he's better than Dak.
No.
put him up?
Yeah. He's
Like, are
better
you
than
saying
Dak.
40 plus? You're not paying him more than Dak.
He's the best. He's the best statistically, the best quarterback out of that draft class that he came from, and he's been a very, very good quarterback. And he's on a system right now with a 2-headed monster in the backfield that he can only excel further from. I mean,
Is
I
he
think
better
he
than
deserves it.
Daniel Jones?
Stop it. We're still
I'm
on
just
Daniel-
asking you a question.
I
I'm just asking you a
believe in Danny
question.
Dimes. I believe in Danny
I'm-
Dimes and the offense.
I'm just
they
asking
put
a
around
simple
him.
question.
Ask him for a
think-
friend.
I think that he's in a bloodbath division, whereas Danny Dimes isn't. So,
Well,
that's what it
here's
comes down
here's
to.
the thing. So, by saying that, are you saying this season is Baker Mayfield the top 5 quarterback in the league?
Going into,
That's how
I
he
think
has to get paid.
Is he?
I think
Well,
I think he can be, certainly. Listen, their offense isn't going to have to be much different than what Tennessee's been running or what they've already been running for 2.5 years. That offense with the 2-headed running back system there, they can wear defenses down, suck the box in, and attack. And we've talked openly, or I've said many times about playing the 3rd or whatever, the 4th team in their division now. So they're going to be able to beat up on some pretty weak teams potentially. I think that the Baker's going to have a really good year. And I like his answers. I like his answers to the media when they ask him about the contract. I don't give a damn. I'm winning games on the field. I'm not winning games in the contract business in the office. So I like what Baker's talking about. He's not the typical Baker, what it looks like coming into this offseason. He's not being cocky. If he gets away from the commercials, I'm done with Baker commercials, then maybe we can see what he can actually bring to the field this year. No, I know. It's a Browns thing. I get it, Shane. If you were telling me this about Carson Wentz or something, I'd be feeling the same way, man.
It's $37 million. That's as much money as he's going to get. There's no way you're paying him more than Dak Prescott.
Well,
Dak Prescott could have been the MVP last year if he didn't get injured. He led the league in touchdowns.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda. It was only a few weeks into it. Things definitely could have changed for that team. Dallas
he had 20 touchdowns in 4.5 games.
yeah.
Dallas loves to fall apart. If you look at a team like Buffalo, we talked about how they've been chasing a quarterback for many, many years. We've seen Cleveland take a 28-year-old quarterback with a first-round pick. They were chasing so bad. So I think they've got their player now. Maybe Baker gives them a team-friendly deal. He may do the same idea that Josh Allen will be doing, but I think it's not out of the realm of possibility, especially with the cap bump that's going to happen here soon, that Baker's in that number cap-wise. Does he deserve it? I think, honestly, I said he's the best quarterback from his draft class, statistically. He just continues to keep getting better and better and better. And I hate saying that, being that he went to Oklahoma. It hurts me to say this.
Well, he went to Texas Tech and got rolled by Patrick Mahomes. But when it comes down to it, so you're thinking that the Browns are winning the Super Bowl, or they're a Super Bowl contender this year?
No. I think they have a very good opportunity with the fact they have a weak schedule. That I said that their division is going to beat the shit out of them, and that's what's really going to come. They have 6 really tough games to play. So,
when you say they have a weak schedule, I don't even know what you mean by that.
Because they're playing the 3rd-ranked teams from last year, and most of those teams haven't really improved. The top heavy teams that in the NFL I found in the offseason are the big improvers this year. Really, the bottom feeders didn't improve.
Aren't the Chargers the 3rd
They
place
were,
team? And you were swallowing that dick a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And
are they playing the Chargers? I don't even know if they're lined up against the Chargers this year or not.
I'm pretty sure that they are, and they're definitely week 1 against the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm. Going to be a shootout. Now, do I trust the Chargers team? Now, the Chargers team with Derwin James is a much different team. So that's
for sure, 100%.
Now, but do I trust the Chargers team, or do I trust so far what Cleveland has been able to show in the field over the last 2 years? I think I'm going to love watching the show on the field, but I'm still going to take the Browns in that matchup.
Right. I also think that the Browns got to play the 49ers.
Are they playing the NFC West this year? No, they can't be. No, they can't be because the Titans are playing the NFC West. Unless they playing are they playing the Niners in that extra game this year?
Yeah, I know the Steelers have the Seahawks, so
yeah.
I don't know, man. I would be very careful before you start backing the Browns. I'm happy that you are, because every time you back somebody, they fall apart. So I appreciate that kind of support. Can you pay Baker more than 40? I don't think so.
I love Baker Mayfield, and I don't think he can get more than 40.
Yeah.
Just given what some of the other guys have got.
Has Cleveland re-signed a quarterback in the last 15 years? Have they ever given a quarterback a second contract?
Have they ever had a quarterback?
I'm just trying to think if they have. Did Derek Anderson? He got a second one, right?
Yeah.
And at the time, was he one of the top paid quarterbacks at the time when he got that second? No? He didn't come into the top 5 or anything in pay?
No.
Baker's going to get paid, yes, but where can he fall? And I think the problem is that Patrick Mahomes set the bar so high. The Chiefs did that. There's I said, Josh Allen, I thought he was going to get paid a bit more. I don't think anybody's going to come close to that $45 million mark. I don't think there's anybody available that's worth that kind of money. And I love Baker Mayfield. I've talked about on the show how much I enjoy that guy. Shane's known me since the day he got drafted how much I love that kid. But I just don't think that you can get to the point of getting to that it's hard to pay somebody $40 million, especially as a quarterback in such a run-heavy offense.
Right.
He's not winning games by himself.
Yeah, and he's the kind of guy that needs the support. And if he can't afford to pay proper support, or if they give all the money to the running backs and him, and you have no O-line, and then things start to really spiral from. Again, I have no problem with Baker Mayfield either, other than the fact that he plays for the Browns. And I'm very cautious to anybody out there that thinks that because the Browns won a playoff game last year, that they're instantly taking the next step. Based on what they wanted to do in free agency, it tells you that the GM didn't think that they were ready. So, whatever. You know what? That's about enough of fucking shitty quarterback money. Let's talk about our boy, Darius Leonard.
Oh,
he gets
very
20 mil.
loose use of the word "our boy" there. Okay,
maybe we talked about it a little bit, and I
talking about the bag though. He got the bag.
Yeah.
That's 20 mil a year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he deserves that, right? Like based on what people are getting and the way contracts are going, that's an appropriate contract for him, I think.
Yeah, he's the quarterback on the defensive side for that team. He does way more than one thing. Rushes the passer, plays pass defense, can play against the run. You can call him plays out before they're even happening. He's very Luke Kuechly-esque. He's a great player. It sucks that he's going to be on that team for another fucking years, man. Rough that I have to put up with that.
Yeah, I mean, put up with that, but it's not like they have anybody playing quarterback, so you don't have to worry too much about that.
God, man, I mean, it pains me to watch the team fall apart like that. It's been so fun to watch the Houston Texans just burn this offseason. And I thought the Colts were going to be really, really good, but now they're going to be it's without Nelson and without Wentz for 5 to 12 weeks. That's two big blows. So,
well, watch out for Jacob Eason.
Yeah. Don't get me started with him.
Yeah, he'll be okay. Chad doesn't like Jacob Eason, apparently.
No. That team's done. As Kalen just got his wish. He just won the division. It's call a spade a spade. I don't care how good that defense is.
You're writing off Trevor Lawrence?
This year, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I think long term, I think Trevor Lawrence is the answer. But he's still Jacksonville. They'll find a way to fuck it up.
That's true.
What did you think
Jacksonville can finish second place this year. I think they can get second place in the division now. Now with Indy out, I think it's a really realistic time that I think the Jags could make a move and they could win that 8-9 games now. But unfortunately, there's just the Colts can't win without a quarterback. No team can win without a quarterback. We know that. And unfortunately, that team was built on defense and having a strong quarterback. That's it. Having a strong, smart quarterback. And Eason, you haven't played it down in the NFL. That was a Super Bowl contender. If they can come out and win 8 games, I think that's a win for them this season. They can go close to 500 until Carson gets back. Sure, but now Carson's not getting first-team reps. That's what we have to remember, too. He's going into a new team again, trying to build that relationship with those players, and where he should be peaking is week 10, 11, 12, so on.
Right.
That's going to be like his first weeks now. And it's going to be hard to bounce back from that. And unfortunately for the Colts, it sucks because they're such a good football team. As much as Kalen doesn't want to hear that, they're an amazing football team. They had so much potential. And they could have easily, they should have won that division this year coming up. Nothing against your Titans. It was a 2-man race. And now the Titans got their wish. And hopefully they can just be ready to play playoff football because they're going to have no test in the division now.
Yeah.
Whew. We're calling the division already. Haven't even taken the snap for the Derrick Henry, turf toe, first preseason game. Fucking Julio Jones. Who knows if that guy's going to play in the preseason? He's going to hurt himself. Hamstring, probably, right?
He already hasn't practiced in 6 practices.
Yeah. What about Bud Dupree? Is he back practicing it?
Yes, he came off the pup about 4 days ago. So
can I cut in for 1 second?
Yeah.
It's 100% not actually relevant. I just want to ask Kalen a question. How mad were you when your favorite football game didn't put AJ Brown as your best receiver? He wasn't even in the top 10. He wasn't even in the top 10. How mad were you?
Did DK? I didn't see if DK got higher than him. That was my only thing that I wanted to make sure.
He did.
He fucking. That's bullshit. Man, AJ's been doing it for two. Well, DK did it year 1 too, but come on, AJ did better year 1. It's ridiculous.
Hey, take it over EA Sports. I've literally been holding this in for 3 weeks.
The Madden Raiders they've spoken.
Yeah. I was like, this is Kalen's favorite game, and they did him dirty like this.
It's going to be so fun to use that offense, man. Oh, wow. And it's so fun to watch. Shane, you are so spoiled. That game that you're going to later this year, to see DK and AJ Brown and Julio and Derek on the same field, and maybe Russ is going to be cooking. Who knows?
Yeah, throwing moonshots.
Fuck off.
Moonshots, man. So what did you boys think of Urban Meyer? And him saying, because they were talking about the rebuild process, and he said that it's not fair to the players that are here for a rebuild. This isn't a 2-3 year plan. This is a 1 year plan. He's going to try and make a push this year. I thought that was pretty interesting because like they just talk about them now putting CJ Henderson up on the trade block. Guy's only been there 2 years. He was a first round corner.
Yeah.
So then maybe they are trying to make some kind of push to solidify whatever they feel they need to take on what right now looks like a weak division. If the Colts don't in fact have Nelson, we don't know what he's going to come back from it, and if Wentz actually stays out longer than expected.
Yeah, well, I think the Jaguars are going to score points. I do think that Trevor Lawrence is not going to have any problem running an offense. Can they block for him? Does Travis Etienne translate to the NFL? Does he have
that's
good
interesting.
receivers?
They're going to try and make him a slot receiver.
He's
As a
play
permanent. Well, no, yeah, but they're going to. What I was reading, just looking on the Jags forums, was that he was looking at 70-30 playtime. Now, maybe they're trying to get him used to the position, and that's why they've been doing him more heavy in the practice. But that's an interesting take to move a player like that. While he did do things like that in college, he's a great backfield component. Yeah,
that's the way I look at it. I mean, like, he'll move it, put him at slot. You're going to motion him in the backfield. You're going to motion him out of the backfield. How do I get the ball in this weapon's hand? Reggie Bush, Percy Harvin, that's the kind of player he is. He's not an every down back in the backfield. Not in the NFL. But we want the ball in his hands. So where can we put him to find that mismatch?
Mm-hmm.
It's that simple. And I think that's all they're going to do. And Urban Meyer's not dumb. He's been in this game for a long time. And if you watch, the NFL game is a copycat league from college football. Unfortunately, the players coming up now, and I see this at my own level, the game has gone for a worse, like, it's going to sound horrible, the game's gotten dumber. How do we make this game simple? How do I get the ball in playmakers' hands?
Right.
So it's simple. Quick reads, quick throws, fast routes. The RPO offense was literally made just to get the ball out faster because D ends and D tackles are so fast. We don't have time to think. I got to be quick. One read, the ball's out. It's that simple. So if you can get a guy like Etienne and a mismatch on a linebacker, you're going to take it all day long. So how can I move my weapons to get the best mismatch?
Yeah, no, it makes sense. And, you know, like a guy like Urban Meyer is going to bring the kind of offense that it's going to be tough for teams. I mean, the teams that play them twice this year are probably going to be in a much better spot, especially the teams that are playing on the back end. But I wouldn't want to be the team that plays the Jaguars week 1, honestly. Not saying that they're going to have that much better of a roster, but they are going to have a competitive advantage as far as what kind of offense they're going to run. And Trevor Lawrence is a dog, man. I'm not betting against that guy. I mean, they're not winning that division, but I mean, I'm not betting against him either.
They're going to play
we got somebody just coming in to say hi here, guys. Sorry about that. I don't know where this little one came from.
See,
No, it's in the house.
That's right. All right, so
Yeah.
you gotta go back upstairs and mommy, okay?
Well,
I'll come up and get you. Don't worry.
what about this Xavier Howard thing? How it's all worked out? See, like he's set in stone now, right? He's got his new deal. It looks like it's pretty based on incentives. He gets an extra $1 million for whatever kind of statistics he can have, and an extra $2.5 million based on playing time. Now, I haven't seen the official details of what that takes, but like these coaches are going to make sure he gets that 2.5 mil, right?
100%.
yeah, not a chance.
No chance, eh?
Not a chance.
You're being petty because he wanted to hold out.
No,
I
they're
think
not going to give it to him.
You don't think so? Flores coming out multiple times and saying that Howard's part of the team. He comes out and pads a couple of times in practices, even when there's still the dispute with the contract going on. Takes a couple of DBs under his wing. I
don't think this is on the coaches. That's why. I think it's going to come from higher up. Sure, we're going to give him what he wants, but we're going to pull those strings. And they're going to put it on the coaches not to give into it. It's that simple. It's going to come from the higher ups in the front office. It's not coming from Flores and all those guys.
So if he doesn't make that, like the incentives thing for statistics, whatever, that's on him. But if he doesn't make it based on playing time and he's healthy, like he's gone, right? Like this is his last year in Miami.
He's probably leaving regardless. This is the same guy that just got paid that wanted more money. So
like
if he puts up similar numbers, I mean, yeah, Darrell, he had the right. Like at the time, he was the best. But if Howard puts up similar numbers, he has the right to put up another stink again, I guess.
Well, there's another guy that's putting up a little bit of a fuss on his contract here, and I don't. He's doing it pretty quietly because that's just kind of the way he is. But TJ Watt is not practicing until he gets a new deal. He's showing up, standing on the sideline.
So is he in pads at least, or is he just showing up on the sideline like Deshaun was doing there for a little while?
I'm not 100% sure. It just seems like he's doing. He might be doing some drills, so he might doing he might be doing shorts and a hat kind of thing, but it's not something that I'm concerned about. It is peculiar for a Steelers player that tries to hold out to actually get paid, but since he's not holding out and he's at camp, I would fully believe that by the end of this offseason, he's paid.
Yeah.
Steelers don't do any deals mid-season, so. What kind of money does a guy like TJ Watt get per year?
He has to be the highest paid pass rusher, I feel. Based off his last 3 years in the league, or I guess his first 3 years, I guess we'll say.
Is that north of 20?
Liam, who's the highest paid pass rusher in the league? Is it north than 20?
It's probably
because if they don't match that, right? I was gonna say if they don't match it, they'd have to go above it. It's that simple. Like you can't go any less than that.
Yeah, like I would guess, like the Myles Garrett contract is the highest paid.
So we got Frank Clark, DeMarcus Lawrence, Khalil Mack, Myles Garrett, and Joey Bosa. They all make north of $20 million.
I don't think that Frank Clark does that anymore.
His contract says he does, but
his off season hasn't been going his way.
Yeah,
but yeah, no, I think if those 5 guys are on north of 20, you have to pay him. He has to be in the top 3.
For edge rushers, you're looking at Von Miller, Trey Flowers, Cameron Jordan, Eric Armstead, and Shaquille Barrett.
What's the dollar value? Like 20?
17 to 19-1.
Okay, so he probably lands on the 20s then, right?
No, well, what do you think? Is he better than Joey Bosa? Joey Bosa is getting paid $27 million.
Different position.
Oh, this came out in January, so things might have changed.
Yeah.
Different position, I guess, because of defensive need, right? I guess if he was in a 4-3 system, he'd be on a put his hands in the dirt.
For sure. Kind of guy. But he's not big enough to do that. If he was 4-3, he'd be probably playing inside. But
here we go. We got updated list here.
Okay.
Edge rusher contracts: Joey Bosa, Myles Garrett, Khalil Mack, DeMarcus Lawrence, Frank Clark are all north of 20. With Joey Bosa pulling 27.
27.
Holy fuck! That's more than Ben Roethlisberger's making this year.
Yeah.
Wow.
Total guaranteed is 102. Fully guaranteed is 78.
So I don't see TJ Watt getting 25.
22, 23, I think is a realistic number.
I'm comfortable with that because they also gotta roll out the Brinks truck for Minka too, which it's gonna be.
Your claim is that he's gonna be the highest paid defensive player in the NFL, right?
Minka?
Anyways.
Yeah, isn't that what you said the last time?
I do think that. Yeah, I think it's gonna be the highest paid Steelers defensive player. So I do think that Minka gets more than TJ.
Really, eh? DBs just get no love, right? That's my they're not. It's not a sex. Safety's not a sexy position.
So did you see what Logan Ryan said about that?
Yeah.
Did you see Logan Ryan? Said
No.
that? He said he made the switch from corner to safety, not because he didn't think he could play corner anymore, but because he realized that that's where the market and the money is trending towards.
Yeah, but he was also not a number one corner.
No, he's a slot,
Right.
straight up slot.
Yeah, like,
You got an
if you're the third corner or you're a starting safety, you're going to get paid more.
yeah, and he was a hell of a safety. He did really well there in his first year.
He was a good safety. I'm just saying, like, that's also half that statement there. Like,
Look,
you're either the third highest paid corner on your team, or you could be the highest paid safety. You're going to be the highest paid safety.
Yeah, I think what it comes down to is this: like, for a guy like TJ Watt, would never want to lose him. Want that guy on our defense at all times, but he is replaceable. A guy like Minkah Fitzpatrick came in and was an immediate fix. The guy was good on a shitty Miami team. Came in, didn't even know the defense, had a pick six and a couple interceptions and a forced fumble in his first game with the Steelers. The guy is a difference maker, and if the Steelers had to choose one, they're going to pick Minkah Fitzpatrick, mostly for like a durability standpoint. And the Steelers know how to draft linebackers, so yeah. Look at the Steelers' track record for drafting DBs. Like Ike Taylor and Troy Polamalu are the only ones that nail.
So in other Steelers camp news, what do you hear that little soundbite with Dotson regarding Dotson today?
No.
Somebody asked Tomlin how he was doing, and he said he hasn't earned the right for first team reps, or something effective like, "What are we doing talking about this guy? He's a second year player who hasn't earned any right to play," or something like that.
Yeah,
I love how direct he was. What are we even doing here?
Man, that guy is he's gonna put all players in their place, especially like a rookie like that who played a few games last year. Probably had his off season. He showed up overweight to camp, so they weren't too happy with him. But based on the fact that they made him suit up for the Hall of Fame game, which I don't know if you guys watched the Hall of Fame game, just tells you everything you need to know. Earn your fucking spot, kid. Even a guy like Chase Claypool, he's a superstar. He's an emerging superstar. They made that guy suit up for the Hall of Fame game.
Mike Tomlin is a player's coach, but he says things that you would think but he has the respect to say those things.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. The players love him. Guys want to play for him. And it's probably because he tells you it as it is. He doesn't bullshit. But he'll have your back all day long. But you have to earn that right for him to have your back.
Yeah.
Right. And you got to have his back, right? Show up to camp with the proper weight, show the coaches that you want to be there, and they'll treat you like you're part of the team. But you don't, go earn your spot. Like, that guy was a 4th round pick last year. His spot's not guaranteed this year, even though I am counting on him being the starting left guard. But I don't get to make too many roster decisions, so we'll see how that goes. But did you guys watch the Hall of Fame game? Like, were you interested at all?
I watched like the first 2.5 quarters, and then I actually went and watched the CFL game.
Yeah. Did you watch Dewey or what?
Yeah. Dewey being Dewey, check down king, man. A whole lot of check downs, bro.
He did not look good, but you know who did look good? And I didn't even realize that we actually signed him was Kalen Ballage from the Chargers last year.
Jesus, how deep is that running back room? And they're all the biggest bodies too, right?
It's going to be a hard group to bang down, but they've got screwed so many years in a row by James Conner that it's just time to invest.
Well, Kalen Ballage was a great investment. I mean, you saw him dragging bodies in that Hall of Fame. I know he's not playing top-tier talent at the time that he was in the game, but he's done that. He drags bodies, he gets yards, he fights for those extra few, and he's a great compliment to somebody like Najee Harris. Those are two bodies very similar. Najee's still a little bit more physical than Kalen Ballage is, but Ballage is a finisher. He can fit. It's a big-bodied man, boy. So
yeah,
it's exciting for Steelers football.
Yeah, he ran hard. Najee ran hard. They even have a guy like Jalen Samuel, who's probably going to get cut this year, and he's not practice squad eligible. But yeah, I mean, like I look forward to that. I do think that from watching that game, like I was kind of in the camp of Dwayne Haskins is going to probably be the backup quarterback for the Steelers this year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so anymore. I mean, it looks like that contract they gave to Chad's back. Looks like that contract they gave to Mason is probably where they need to be. A team that I'd be more concerned about is if I was the Cowboys, I'd be a little bit more concerned. Not like they were playing their starters, and like I get it, it's the Hall of Fame game, but they didn't seem to have a lot of depth anywhere.
Well, and I think that what really exacerbated the system there, or the I'm looking so poor, was the fact that the Steelers in the Hall of Fame game, 5 weeks out for the friggin' regular season, are throwing blitzes on first and second down, and not even just like we're sending an extra rusher, an extra guy. They were sending very unique type stunts. So
100%.
that's not gonna help anybody when you're a undrafted player or a fourth rounder or lower draft pick that's trying to make the squad and getting lit up by what looked to be old school Steelers football in the first game of the season in the Hall of Fame game.
Yeah, they're back.
You have to understand that, like, in preseason football, and just like any football, like we all played it growing up, the defense always looks amazing first.
Well,
So-
also, I don't mean to cut you off, but you know that Bill Cowher was calling some of the defensive plays?
I did not know that, no.
Yeah, he was on the sideline with Mikey T calling in some plays. So I guarantee that guy wasn't calling no fucking cover two.
No, not a chance. But, like, your defense is going to look awesome. You're going to put in blitzes. It's easier to install a defense than it is to install an offensive blocking assignments. Also, if I'm the Cowboys and I'm getting this shit thrown at me now, I'll take it as learning experience. You're going to see that shit all year long in the regular season.
Yeah.
And if you
Take it
can
as
adapt
learning
now,
experience. It's so
Spend
easy
it-
to say. That poor quarterback got his
Yeah.
ass kicked. Guy was getting smashed from every angle.
Ben
Learning
DiNucci
experience.
is on, like, he can't practice right now because he's so beat up.
Yeah, poor guy.
oh well,
I think,
move on.
but the kicking, my God, holy hell, it was terrible. Up until the former Titan Sloman finally got a kick in. That kicking
Yeah.
show was brutal, right? Sam
Yeah.
Sloman.
Well, what about our 270-pound punter just fucking dropping dimes?
Oh yeah, the one that the one hopped, right, or not one hopped, the two hopped, sorry, at the
Sean,
1 yard line,
Have
right?
you seen a picture of this fucking Adonis yet?
Adonis.
Now I have to.
Easy.
Yeah, so-
Easy.
So the Steelers drafted him this year, 6th round, from Georgia Tech. But he's like,
What's his
this-
name? I'll just type in
Perry Harvin III or something like that.
Steelers fat punter.
Yeah,
That'll work.
he's
Presley Harvin.
Presley Harvin. Yeah, Presley Harvin
He's
III.
263 pounds, 5'11".
Yeah, yes, he is.
Yo,
Dude,
that is a fucking. He is a unit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
That is a
huge.
fucking unit.
Yo, and this guy hit the ball on the 1 yard line and stuck it. It just down, fucking fell, and it just laid there.
That is a fucking unit out there. I just
Yeah,
saw his picture from Georgia Tech.
yeah.
Now, and now listen, he's not going to catch many people in a chase down, but imagine being the punt returner that happens to have your head down when you come up and, oh, there he is. You're going to get
Yeah.
smashed, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
Keep your head on a swivel going down the sideline. I'll tell you that much.
hell yeah.
So I'm telling you, that guy is going to be the Steelers punter this year. Sorry, Jordan Berry. But I am looking forward to watching that guy. And if they wear those Bumblebee jerseys, I might have to.
Oh, man.
Those lines will be working.
I might have
Yeah.
to get that jersey made in a Bumblebee.
Oh,
That
God.
is just epic.
At least your body types will match,
Yeah.
right? When you fill it out.
Go fuck yourself, asshole. We got to speed through here a little bit because we got a couple things we're gonna leave out, and we're already 40 minutes in.
Football's back, baby. Let's just talk
What-
about that. That's
what
all we
about
need.
this? No, I got other stuff for you too. What about this Michael Thomas saga? No, we've been talking a lot about Steelers division, Titans division. Let's make a little move down to the NFC South. And
Jesus.
do you believe this Michael Thomas saga? Do you think it affects the Saints at all? I mean, is there even a division in the South? Like, are you worried?
And as the world turns, the days of the NFL still go on, right? My
Right?
God, it's just a new story each week with somebody complaining. And this situation, there's no easy out here. Like, they do not have the cap room already to be making any moves, and they cannot give up a player like Michael Thomas. That team would have absolutely nothing left there.
Well, I
they've
mean,
gotta
as
get
it is, the
their
guy's not going to
back
play till
together.
November, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
PUP.
Yeah. But and then like it's imagine being Sean Payton, and this isn't the first time that he's been confronted with this type of shit where it's all social media driven. And all he can say is like, I'm not going to talk to you media guys about what you read on the social media. It's just so stupid.
Right.
But like, how many times does this guy have to go around the bush like this? The team's going to be in awful check. They were one of the guys that were rumored to be checking in on the CJ Henderson potential trade because the guy's on a rookie type contract.
Since you brought up Bush, we should probably talk about our friends over at Smooth My Balls, who will eliminate your Bush. And as I've said in previous segments, if your girlfriend watches Austin Powers with you and she is envious of Dr. Evil petting Mr. Bigglesworth, you need this Smooth My Balls razor because it will change your life. Chad's got the old eat your pubes vacuum
Yeah,
too.
do you know how you clean it up afterwards? Right there.
Yeah. Yeah. Chad feeds
pubes.
pubes and that's pretty much how it goes. Now, what we will say is at our golf tournament that we have coming up, we do have one of these to give away. And we are just giving it away to, what is it? YouTube subscribers, Instagram, Facebook, people watching us, anybody that wants to donate to the Canadian Middlesex Mental Health Association. They have a whole bunch of fucking acronyms, but check our stuff and you can see who we're doing it for. But yeah, that could be one of the grand prizes, right? I mean, this feels like it's very geared towards women because not only do we have the dick razor, but we also have
enhanced aesthetics.
Yes,
we're gonna
enhanced aesthetics. Yeah,
facials, nails, skincare, grooming.
yeah.
We're gonna be the best looking podcast that no one's ever seen. Let's just say that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then we got a vegan and gluten friendly bake shop. And then we have a gym that's meant to make you look good too.
Yeah.
Strong House Performance. So we are literally going to be talking about Adonises. That'll be us when we are all done.
Yeah. Yeah. We're going to be built like lunatic fridges. Much like you can get down at our friends at Toboggan. But yeah, that's we had to make a little segment there since Kalen was slurping up Bush or whatever you're saying. But Kalen, I have no idea what you were talking about. Obviously, it's a bad thing that Michael Thomas is gone. But I want to talk to Chad about this one last NFL piece, and then we got to take a little detour down the Field of Dreams. But Trey Lance is taking first-team reps, and he is being said by his teammates that this guy is a difference maker. This guy is going to change the way that quarterback is played in the league. You believe that shit?
Oh, God.
No, I don't. It's that simple. No, I don't.
Trey Lance is going to change the way that quarterback has played in this league. When his number one comparison to the NFL quarterback was Steve McNair. That's what he's going to be. Like, that's where I think his ceiling is going to be. And that's not a bad ceiling coming from a Titans fan.
Yeah.
But, like, that's what his ceiling is.
He's used to taking the ball. Yeah, he's used to taking the ball out of shotgun, so he'll be fine.
Oh, God. But
pew, pew, pew.
The first team reps thing, like, it's still Jimmy's team. Like, in the same time that they're putting out stories into smoke and mirrors that Jimmy's the most confident he's ever looked in the offseason and he's controlling the huddle like nobody's seen before. I don't know.
But the difference is this is the guys on the team that are saying this. This isn't the coaches. So obviously you want to trust a player, take a player for what it's worth. It could have been said sarcastically, and the way it's written down is a completely different thing, right? But if you're a player on this team, if you don't actually think this guy's your starting quarterback week one, why would you say this, and why would you do this to Jimmy G?
I think he actually is going to be the starter, as much as I don't want to admit it. I think Jimmy G's course is down there.
Week one? Yeah.
If he's getting first team reps right now, either Jimmy's not healthy and they're not saying something, or they're doing whatever they can to keep him healthy so they can get rid of him. It's the only two things that make sense.
Right.
You don't draft a quarterback third overall to sit on the bench for a year. I don't care who you are. We've talked about this numerous times, Shane.
Mm-hmm.
They knew what they were doing when they drafted him. I didn't think they were going to draft a quarterback. We've had that talk too, and I've said on this show before I didn't think they were going to draft a quarterback. But if you do, with the hype that's behind that kid and how close that team is to being great, I think this year with everybody coming back, if you didn't think he was the guy, you wouldn't jeopardize that. Because if you did, John Lynch, I think, could be gone.
Uh-huh.
Shanahan would be gone. Because that team was a Super Bowl team 2 years ago until their whole team got injured last year.
Right.
Jimmy G threw 32 touchdowns the year before. He did it quietly, but he threw 32 touchdowns. The problem is that some of the other guys threw 40, but I'll take a 30-plus touchdown quarterback any day of the week.
Right.
But yeah, if this kid's taking first-team reps already, either he's that much better than Jimmy G, or they're like, this kid's good enough for us. We have to keep Jimmy healthy because there's going to be a team that wants him.
Well, who would that team be? Like, who could you see going for a guy like Jimmy G? The Giants, maybe?
Stop it. Danny
Well,
Dimes, man.
He could have said Tennessee. Offhand, I don't have a team offhand yet, but like we'll find out, I guess, right? Every team looks like there's a lot of bad teams with decent quarterbacks right now.
Houston?
This whole Houston's, that's just, we don't know what's happening there, and I think that's the big issue, right?
I think they got Tyrod.
That guy's just been dealt the worst hand ever.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think that's Jimmy G's, and I think they're thinking trade bait all day long. You might be getting a third-round pick for him. What are
Well,
you gonna
okay.
do from there?
I think the reason why you say something like that, Shane, if you're a player and you actually do believe that Jimmy is the answer and you're going to make a comment like that about Trey Lance, nobody is going to bad talk a player that their GM/coach just hitched to for the next 5 years. If I want to get paid and stick around here, I'm going to keep my mouth shut and I'm not going to bad talk that pick. I'm going to say everything he's doing is great. And maybe next year I'll start maybe making some comments if I feel he's not making the right strides. It's like I couldn't imagine. I mean, it's obviously a different world than I've ever lived in, but I couldn't imagine that my boss stuck his neck out for somebody to hire on and then asked me how he's doing, and I in turn was like, "Oh, he's doing terrible, just doing brutal." Like,
Well,
I would
if you
never
want the
do
ball, you're going to talk good about your quarterback.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know it's a different. Like, it's a different world. Things happen at a much faster pace than any world than I've lived in. I just think that like if your coach GM is hitching to this kid for the next 5 years, you in the first off season better be buttering up what you're saying about that kid just to stick around, in hopes of sticking around. I think.
It's a interesting way to look at it. So, like, you think the guys in Chicago are saying the same thing about Justin Fields?
Yeah, I read an article last week that was saying that the Justin Fields era is here. Similar shit, that you hear of every year of a rookie quarterback coming in, making strides, owning the huddle, making throws to the sideline that only professionals after 5 years, 7 years in the league start making. It's the same shit you're going to hear every year, but you are hearing that coming out of Chicago, that they're already talking about now where are they going to send Foles, right? And he's preferring to pick the team he wants to go to because he wants to be a starter. Give it up. It's over for him. But yeah, I think that they are saying a lot of great things about Justin Fields, and they should be saying good things about him. I know that Ohio State quarterbacks don't usually pan out very well, but I think I have a good feeling about that kid.
Well, Joe Burrow is an Ohio State quarterback, just so you know. And
he left to go somewhere else, right?
Because of Justin Fields.
Yeah, exactly. So if we call Baker Mayfield Joe Burrow the same thing, then that means Justin Fields is Patrick Mahomes.
I guess.
So that's just history. That is history coming to bite you in the ass. I don't know if we have any time for CFL because I really want to get to this Blue Jays news that we got going on. So I'm going to tell you guys that 2 weeks ago, I think it was a Thursday chat, so you might not have been on. I think it was just Kalen and I, and we were talking about, or it could have been Rick. I was telling them that I didn't feel like this Blue Jays team was the same as the 2015 team and the 2016 team. And
they must have heard you.
No, I'm going to stand by that. I'm going to say it's still not the same. I think that they're better.
Oh,
I think that they're better. And I mean, I went back and I looked at some of the players because, it's really easy to forget the guys that were there 6 years ago, right? Mm-hmm. But if you're looking at Jose Bautista playing first base, or Vladimir Guerrero, I mean,
no brainer.
Yeah, you're Vladimir Guerrero, and if you're looking at a guy for center field, you're looking at Kevin Pillar or George Springer, and again, you're in a pretty good spot to say George Springer, no problem, and you could pretty much do that around the diamond. I'm not willing to say Bo Bichette's better than Troy Tulowitzki, but he's more durable.
I mean, I love it's for George Springer and everything here, but like, what have you done for me lately? It feels like Pilar was like a standstill there in Toronto for a very long time.
No,
Played
Pilar
very
was a
well.
standstill because he was too slow.
yeah.
If he was as fast as most center fielders, those are routine catches.
Thank
I love
you.
Kevin Pilar. He was a
Defensively,
highlight reel waiting.
certainly a bit of a
He
liability.
was a highlight reel waiting to happen. He probably had his own fucking top 10 on Sports Center. His bat was below average, maybe average at best. He made highlight reel catches because he was too slow to make a routine play.
100%. 100%.
And like the fans loved him. I loved him. It was fun to watch. You know, it's an attitude and changer when you see your center fielder bail at your pitcher. But I don't think they had to be diving top 3 plays of the year catches if you were 3 steps faster.
Yeah.
That's it. There's not a shot at him. You can't teach speed, unfortunately. But that's what it comes down to.
Right, and it seems like they're getting the bullpen pulled back together. And once Nate Pearson comes back, he's going to be inserted right into the bullpen. It'll be just as big as bringing in any heavy arm. That a guy like Nate Pearson is a starter for a reason. He's only not coming back as a starter this year because he's been a little bit banged up. He's not stretched out enough. But a guy like that, you're struggling to bat against him the 3rd time in the order. Now, you would compare him to somebody like Aroldis Chapman, not necessarily in speed, but his deceptiveness. He's got more than 3 pitches, which is amazing for a reliever. So he's going to automatically boost them. But as far as the pitching staff goes, Berrios is not a household name yet, but he will be. They're missing that David Price type guy because Hyun-Jin Ryu is not that. But they're so much stronger in a rotation. And much like, I guess, a defensive back would be a good comparison for football. If you're a starting pitcher and no one's talking about you, that's an okay thing, eh? Like, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Robbie Ray is not a household name in baseball, but Toronto Blue Jays fans are comfortable when he takes them out. And he wins more games than he loses, and he doesn't give up a lot of runs. He gets guys out. I'm not saying that this run that the Jays are on is sustainable. But
You don't think so? I think that outside of the stretch of games coming up, outside of the Angels series, which I think they could probably split, you got the Mariners, you got the Tigers, right?
Well,
And who else they got to play?
the Mariners are better than the Angels, but just
I like
historically,
what the
they're
Angels
not
play
great on the
better.
West Coast.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is they're not going to win 8 out of every 10 games. But they don't have to anymore. They've taken that out of their hands. They don't need to worry about winning every game anymore. They're 2 games out of a playoff spot right now, and that's a nice, comfortable spot. And you put them in a 3-game series or a 5-game series with any team, I think that you're feeling pretty good about it. You put them into a wild card game against either the Red Sox or the Athletics or the Yankees, I guess.
I don't even want to think about
I feel
that.
pretty good about
happening.
that, man. I feel pretty good about that. I know, and you're a Red Sox fan, and that's what I'm saying.
No, after this
you don't wanna
weekend, that would be a
face- yeah.
rough thought. Rough
you don't
thought.
You don't want to face these guys, and Chad was at the game or he was around the game on Sunday, so he heard a little bit of it. But like Ethan, who doesn't, like trying to get a teenage kid to watch baseball, is like pulling teeth. But he was engaged in the game, even to the point where he's like, "Wow, that was a hell of a home run." Like, you can swear, it's okay. It's okay. You're
And that proves my point even more to what I was saying earlier this season, that baseball has got to get back to the old balls and letting them fly. I don't care if I see a 12-10 game. The kids want to see that. The kids will get interested in the game if it's there. I mean, I'm playing
all day.
every few games 12-10, Shane. I know the purist in you doesn't want to see a double-digit score all the time, but it'd be fun to have a few more of those in a schedule here and there.
Sure, yeah, and I have no problem with it. The pitchers continue to get better, and as long as the pitchers continue to get better and throw faster, the ball might go further every once in a while, but not as often, and that's why you're seeing some of the games. But for a team like the Red Sox, they're kind of going through what the Jays went through at the beginning of the year, and I think that the Red Sox thought that they were in a better spot than they are. They didn't really do anything other than add Kyle Schwarber, and I think that they're regretting it right now.
Yeah, only added Schwarber, who hasn't played still. He's injured. They did get a reliever, but then they really needed Scherzer. when we really needed that. With Sale's going to come back and he's going to definitely give us some innings, but we really needed that other starter to supplement what we were bringing to the field on the second half of the season. And man, they can put offense. Like it's not unlikely to see or normal to see the Red Sox put up 7, 8, 9 runs, but they're giving up 8, 9, 10, 11 runs every single night too. It's terrible.
Right. And yeah, I mean, for a team like the Jays, what they really need right now is they need to play the Rays, and they need to have a good series against the Rays, because if you can go into Tampa or they can come to you and you could take 3 of 4 the same way they just did from the Red Sox, we're talking about the AL East now. We're not talking about the wild card. And
just a confidence more than anything.
Yeah, exactly. And knowing
you don't win the division, you know you can beat anybody.
Right, right. The Rays have kind of been the thorn in the side for the Blue Jays for how long? And even last year with that 1-game playoff that they had, or might have been best 2 or 3, whatever. Anyway, I know that the Rays knocked them out really quick, so it'll be interesting to see. But I am very, very interested to see, and I don't know if you guys know this. I put it into the thing, and I wasn't sure if you guys would research it or not. But the White Sox and the Yankees are actually playing at the Field of Dreams on Thursday.
So excited, man. I'm so stoked for games like that. Like, I love the Stadium Series in the NHL if it was done right. This is doing it right.
This is years in the making. This is
it's beautiful.
Pre-COVID, this was supposed to happen. It just didn't happen because of
I saw the field
weather.
on a flyby by a drone.
Yeah.
And that shit looks unreal. Like, that's how baseball should be played more often.
Like, this is such a big deal for baseball. And, like, the way to explain it to somebody that's not a baseball fan or doesn't watch it, this thing is on Fox prime time on a Thursday evening.
Mm-hmm.
That spot, the only sport that ever goes on Thursday evening on Fox is football. So for them to put the Field of Dreams game on Fox shows how big of a deal it is. And it's going to be pretty cool, man. Like, I love that movie. It's not like it's the most exciting movie, but it's a movie from our childhood. I think that we've all seen it. 100 times.
But they're bringing it to
the bringing it. It's like it only looks like it might hold like 300 people, which I think is unreal.
Yeah, and that's kind of the way that it's designed. It's supposed to be something special. And last year it was supposed to happen. I think 2 years ago it was supposed to happen in the field. They didn't make it up to MLB standards or something, or the lights weren't right. So then they were going to do it last August, and then Coronas Bolonis comes through, and then now it's time. I guess Iowa doesn't care anymore.
I love it. I love it.
It's really cool. I love it. They're bringing it to the show, like the video game. They're bringing out a content update here where they're going to have the Field of Dreams on it too. So I think that's even cooler. Actually, as a guy who's just getting back into baseball, one of the things that I looked at recently was like why different ballparks like had different sizes and such. And it was like because they had literally cut these ballparks into cornfields as they're doing for here. And then when the game got brought to the cities, in order to bring them properly into the cities, they had to have different dimensions. And then, of course, there was rules that were brought into play for that. But that's why you had cool places like the Polo Grounds and Old Wrigley and stuff like that. So it's cool. I'm so excited for this game, man. As a guy who's getting back into baseball, this is just fueling my fire this year, man. Love it.
And the good thing, like 2 years ago, the Yankees and the White Sox, this wouldn't have been a big game. Yeah. But right now, the White Sox are one of the best teams in baseball, and the Yankees are getting hot, and they're making a push for the playoffs here. So as much as a game in August shouldn't matter for shit, and we're getting into the dog days of summer here, this might be the most watched baseball game outside of the All-Star game in August in MLB history.
And they're doing it right by teaming up with a team like Fox. Like if I'm going to put something like this, that's a unique type of sporting event out there, that station is the one that should be carrying it. Because this is the opportunity that baseball needs to get back into a few years ago, they were making some great strides with the public market. This is what they need, man.
Yeah. For sure. Any fathers out there, any mothers, anybody that is around a kid and you want to get them back into baseball, over the next 2 days, have them watch Field of Dreams with you. And then on Thursday, click this fucking thing on, make it real life.
That's right. But you got to watch us first, though, right?
What's that?
We got to watch us first, right?
Well, of course. I mean, we're gonna be on Thursday, 100%. We're gonna be. I can.
You'll be live during the game.
Yeah. The game starts at 7, so we'll be on for a bit. So Kayla and I will probably be just staring at the screen for part of it. And we're going to be talking a little bit about our golf thing. So let's get a little bit of the golf thing out here, and then we'll let Liam wrap us up. I can tell he's already pissed about this. Liam, we're going into overtime.
Hey, it's
he's
season
used to
2, episode 1, right? We gotta
All
go
right.
out with a bang.
Is it time? Do you want to make team announcements, or you want to do that later in the week?
Well, I won't be here on Thursday, so it's up to you boys.
Well, let's fucking do it now then, because Kalen already bailed. So,
Work calls sometimes.
so
Sorry, guys.
yeah, it's all good, man. Team 1 is going to be Prime Real Estate.
That is
And
myself and CFL and former guest Daryl Stevenson.
And then Team 2 is going to be Sir Silly Steele. Did I say it right? And that is going to be our producer and the guy that we never tag in photos, Liam O'Brien, who lives somewhere downtown London.
I just doxed them.
And
If you are watching CIA, this is where you'll find him.
and his cousin, is it Tyler or does he just go by Ty? All right. And then Team 3 is presented by our friends at CoolBet, who actually donated an enormous sum of money so that we can even do this, and we appreciate them for that. That is me and Steve Palmer,
Our accountant.
our
field, huh?
accountant, and he is going to be he'll probably have a 5-second delay when we go live for him.
He will not be live. I'll tell you
Yeah.
that much.
And then Team 4 is it was supposed to be Kalen's team, but Kalen had some other obligations he had to take care of. So we had our friend, we actually just met her on Instagram. We don't really know her. Her name is Deb. She works
for CMHC. CMHC.
Yeah. So at this point, we have no reason to believe that she's a bot. So that is a good thing for us. And Mr. Samoan Tattoo Mike. I forget it. I don't know his last name.
Mike Garrett.
Mike Garrett. So, and that's going to be
The wild card team.
no, but who's
Tough Northman.
Yeah, Tough Northman. That sponsored that one. So we appreciate everyone that's involved in that. So basically, as you're watching it, we're going to be going live every once in a while on Friday. We're going to be giving away prizes. Each team is going to play each other head to head for 9 holes. Whoever has the best record or lowest score, we're going to decide tonight after we get off. Those 2 teams will play in the finals. The other 2 teams will play in the toilet bowl. Whoever loses the toilet bowl, you just probably don't want to be on that team. So we'll figure that one out. But we do have some pretty awesome prizes to give out. We're accepting anybody's donations. Like I said, we've already crushed our goal, but there's no limit to how much we want to raise. So anybody that wants to get involved, let us know, and we will see what we can do for you and make it happen. But anything I'm missing, boys?
Nah, man. I'll see you guys Friday. I'm glad season 2's back, and we got football back, and that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
And I'm just ready to win a golf tournament on Friday because I'm going to talk a lot of shit.
Yeah. 36 holes. Here we come. Watch out.
I don't know if my body can take 36 holes. I'm nervous.
Yeah, well, that's Saturday's problem. Watch out for Thursday, 7:30. It's going to be Kalen and I. We might have an appearance by Rick. We haven't really talked to him yet, but you never know. And as always, boys, cheers. Another season. Here we go.
Cheers.